During Storm Angus, water was streaming off the Garth Mountain and down this slope. Mark's house and around 50 others behind me were damaged in the flood. Now, the nearest river, the Llinvi, is within 200 metres of Mark's house. It's at the bottom of the hill, the other side of the main road. But both he and his local assembly member say the river had nothing to do with the flooding. A few miles down the road from Merthyr, UKIP's leader was on the campaign trail yesterday in Caerphilly. Nigel Farage, like many UKIP members and activists, got into politics for one reason: to get Britain out of the European Union. The country will, of course, have its say on that matter just weeks after the Assembly election. The question then for any UKIP Assembly members will be, what are they for?
So to explain a little more, let's talk to my colleague Paul Martin, who's in the Senedd in Cardiff Bay. Paul, first of all, just explain to us what they've decided and why it's significant.
Yes, tuition fees, Hugh, and the way that students are supported to go to university has in recent years become one of the real dividing lines of the devolution era. Since the annual cap was raised to £9,000, the Welsh Government has gone its own way and put in place a tuition fee grant worth around £5,000 a year, covering the bulk of students' fees wherever they choose to study in the UK. But there have been concerns about the affordability of that policy. So today, the Welsh Government Education Secretary Kirsty Williams has announced a shift away from the tuition fee grant towards support for students' living costs. The people behind this project first started developing the idea to harness the energy generated underwater here 7 years ago. But with investors to keep happy, they're still waiting for firm backing from the UK government. If Cancote had been based here in Edwina Hart's Gower constituency, she wouldn't have been the person to take the decision to back it, because the government's code of conduct warns against conflicts between constituency matters and ministerial decisions. But Cancote was actually based a short journey away in the neighbouring Swansea West constituency. It's around half a mile as the crow flies, or about 5 minutes in the car. The Welsh Government has always insisted this system doesn't grade schools in the way that league tables used to. But that doesn't mean questions over the system and its significance will go away.
Paul, what will parents watching tonight take from this latest report?
Well, Jamie, there's lots of big picture information out there on the Welsh Education Service for parents to wade through, not least last year's PISA international comparison tests, which made pretty grim reading from a Welsh perspective. What today's colour coding tries to do is give parents some small picture information, direct info on their local school. But the Conservatives were quick to make the link today between those negative big picture stories and the image presented today of more and more schools going into the top green category, and said that that can't really be an accurate picture. The basic idea behind this project is to put a turbine into the stream here that can convert the potential energy generated by the water flowing downhill into electricity. The hope is enough can be generated to power around 18 homes. The university's underlying problem is that costs are increasing year on year, and it feels that it's maximised its domestic home student recruitment. I asked a source at the university this afternoon whether this announcement would be happening today without Brexit, and they said it may not have been happening today and maybe not to this extent, but either way there was some sort of restructure coming down the track. And I suppose the question now is whether other universities will make similar announcements.
Paul Martin in Treforest, thank you.